In business tonight, Barbadians will be given an update on the state of the island's economy next Wednesday, January 30th. That's when the Central Bank of Barbados will release its latest economic review covering the end of last year. On the last occasion, Central Bank Governor Cleviston Haynes said that the economy had contracted slightly in terms of growth, but he also revealed that reserve levels had reached the $1 billion mark. The governor revealed that the economy had contracted by 0.5%, but he also noted that prospects for sustained recovery would have been influenced if the island continued to meet the target set by the International Monetary Fund. At the time, Governor Haynes also forecast that the island should realize some economic improvement this year. Well, there's a suggestion that while the global fashion industry continues to rake in billions of dollars annually, with the regional industry still hovering around $100 million, very little of this is reflected in Barbados' GDP. Those stark differences have been a source of concern for Hugh Williams and Alicia Clark, the managing directors of a local agency called Curvy Revolution Model Management. Speaking ahead of the Caribbean Expo Bridal Couture slated for this weekend at the Samuel Jackman Prescott Institute of Technology, Mr. Williams says Barbados has very talented designers and models, but it is still lagging behind countries like Jamaica and Trinidad and Tobago. He notes that this appears to be the case for the entire creative sector.
It's the way Barbados perceives certain facets of fashion, athletics, any form of the theater. They're not recognized. They're having to really fight or go outside, to be recognized.
True.
I know it's going to sound cliche, but Rihanna, she had to leave in order to make a name for herself.
And Mr. Williams adds that the industry needs to stop waiting on government and come together instead to forge the way forward. Saturday's expo will feature designers and models from Antigua, St. Lucia and St. Vincent. Time now to take a look at how stocks traded on selected exchanges across our region.
In Jamaica, Kingston Wharves Limited was the volume leader, 449,369 units at $70.36 each. They were followed by Carreras Limited and NCB Financial Group Limited. In Trinidad and Tobago, Grace Kennedy Limited was the volume leader, with 53,774 shares changing hands for a value of $164,548.44. They were followed by First Citizens Bank Limited and Guardian Holdings Limited. And in Barbados, First Caribbean International Bank was the volume leader, trading 16,269 shares at $2.86 each. They were followed by Goddard Enterprises Limited.
And in international business, White House economic advisor Kevin Hassett says if the government shutdown continues, it could result in zero first quarter growth for the United States.
This week on Water Wednesdays, we want to deal with one of those main complaints coming from you, the customer, and that is relating to outages. You have seen a number of them popping up in recent time, but the Barbados Water Authority has been working around the clock to make sure that you have your normal water supply coming into your home. Many of these outages at times can be related to repairs of burst mains or replacement of mains, and person in charge of that is Shelley Parrish. She is the senior engineer in charge of distribution. And the public has a major role to play in helping us to address a number of these fixes, right, Shelley?
Yes. The public has a vital role to play in identifying those leaks because our computer systems don't facilitate us detecting them as yet. That will be in the very distant future. So we rely on you to give us that information so that we can respond as quickly as possible to reduce the wastage of water.
Okay, looking at that response, that is key for the Barbados Water Authority, not only to reduce the wastage of water, but to make sure that the water is restored as quickly as possible.
Yes, that information coming to us helps us to restore both the pressure and supply to customers at times who may lose their supply inside their houses and to their homes and businesses and so on. The repairers sometimes vary from service connections to larger mains, and as such the impact will vary in terms of the water that is being lost from the system.
Why, in some cases, does it take a bit longer than others to effect these repairs?
Right, so as a daily activity, we have to prioritize those services that require repair that customers have lost supply altogether, and such as broken off meters, pipes that may have been damaged due to vehicular accidents or construction work, or there's just a loss of supply for whatever reason, failure of the parts that are installed. So once we do that particular prioritization, then we have to try to filter in all of the other smaller repairs, like those are the meters, those that are trickling, for instance, in between everything else. So things tend to get pushed back a little bit, but we try our best to facilitate everything as soon as possible.
In the event that a customer does have the information about a burst main affecting a community, what should they do?
They should contact us via our several means, either the telephone hotline 434-4BWA or 434-4292, or Facebook. There's our website, and they should try to give us as much information so that we can find the burst quickly. Information would be street name, any unique identifying landmarks, such as the meter number that might be associated with a particular burst, or utility pole numbers are useful at times, but that pinpointing information, even as more modern as dropping a GPS pin, would help us to get to the burst as quickly as possible so that we don't, obviously lose time getting to the repair.
Okay, speak about those scheduled maintenance and mains replacements now. A number of those will continue this year. What can Barbadians expect generally as the Barbados Water Authority continues with its mains replacement program?
Right, well, the mains replacement program is usually developed based on the frequency of bursts, the age of the pipeline, and the condition and the water quality associated with particular pipelines. So this time around, under the Caribbean Development Bank project, we have actually targeted a number of smaller mains for replacement, which will help to improve the service delivery in general, both with regards to water quality and flow and pressure, and reducing the wastage of water under the non-revenue heading.
Okay, and all this, of course, in an effort to improve the service delivery to you, the public, making sure that you have a constant supply of water. But to view this or a previous episode again, please visit our website, www.barbadoswaterauthority.com. You can also go to our Facebook page for additional information as well, or you can type Water Wednesdays in YouTube and you will definitely find us there.